Hello, guys and dolls. I hope you are well. So today was interesting. First of all, let's get to the meat and taters of my doctor's visit. My foot has healed beautifully. The toes were fractured, and it's healing beautifully. I'll try to remember to put a thumbnail of its progress, like what it looks like now. Your body is amazing. It's just amazing. It's like a factory. Whatever you need, depending on what you need, your body can produce it. Like bone, for example. You lose bone or you have damage to bone, your body will create new bone to fill in those areas. And it's just spectacular. I find the body to be fascinating. It knows what to do. It really does. It knows what to do. It's just cool. I mean, obviously some things you can't, it doesn't work like that. I mean, if you are low on supplements or something to that, of that nature, then obviously you have to take those supplements. But when it comes to bone, well, your body knows how to repair it and fix it. This is one of my Fight Like a Girl shirts. I love these shirts. I try to support the cause when I can because I have had multiple friends with cancer. And as you guys know, my best friend passed away from cancer years and years and years ago. And it still hurts. I'm not gonna lie. It still hurts. So yeah. So I try to support the cause when I can. Let's see. So we had snow here, and it was Milo's second snow. The first one he doesn't remember, I don't think, because he was so small that the snow was taller than him. Okay, and this was last year. I got him in February. I got him on Valentine's Day last year. It just happened to be Valentine's Day. And that winter last year, last year, earlier in the year, my bad, earlier in the year. Oh, wait, shoot, what? February. Yeah, 10 months ago. Yeah, about 10 months ago, I got him. And I'm like confused. But anyway, there was a really nasty snowstorm. I don't think he'll remember it because he was so tiny. So, yeah. He won't remember that. Wait, yeah. I don't know. I'm confused right now. But anyway, I'm tired. My brain is tired. Anyway, he's had one snow since I've had him. Let's just put it that way. He doesn't remember because he was too tiny. He was about, probably about this big, maybe. So he wouldn't remember. Well, anyway, he went out there and he was playing and running around in circles like a lunatic. And he was deliberately run where there was snow. So he was just having the time of his life. And my friend was throwing snowballs. My friend was throwing snowballs at him. And they would break on contact because that's what snowballs do, right? And he was really confused, like, where did it go? So then my friend would throw another one and another one and another one. And he was tickled to death. But he just didn't understand why they went and they were gone. He didn't get that concept. It was freaking funny. It was so funny. So yeah, he was having a time of his life. I mean, really having the time of his life. So yeah, and of course it melted. So it was real pretty. And then it disappeared. And I'm cool with that, especially if I have to travel in it. It's not nearly as much fun. Yeah, so anyway, I healed really nicely. Doctor told me that within the next couple of months, the achiness and pain should start to dissipate because the pain before the storm hit was pretty nasty. It was between an 8 to 9 on a 10 scale of pain. So hopefully I used Diclofenac. Yeah, Diclofenac is a gel, and it basically, it's a pain relief, topical pain relief. So I use that, and that helped a great deal. The only problem is it doesn't last a long time. So, you know, after so many hours, you need to apply it again. And I would advise, if you do use it, that you wear gloves whenever you apply it. Wear gloves, because you don't want to forget. You know, you don't use gloves, and my nose is tickling. I don't think I have allergies, but my nose is tickling. But anyway, use gloves, because you don't want to forget that you touched it, and then you rub your eye. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm just telling you, you don't want to do that. So wear gloves. I got mine from, did I get them from the dollar store? I think I did. To be quite honest with you, I think I got it from a dollar store. So a box, box about that big, I think, or something like that. So anyway, I know what I forgot to get. I'll write myself a list. I forgot to get those. I had a syringe without the needle on it, and I forgot it because I don't know where it's at. So I have to get some more, because that's how I give my dog medicine. You know, there's so many milliliters or whatever. And so that's how I give medicine to him. And it's a lot easier than trying to put pills in his mouth or hiding pills in a hot dog, which is what I had to do last time. And he ate up all his pills with no problemo whatsoever. So I was real happy about that. So, yeah, so that's the story there. So Paul and I were talking about that situation where he was with this chick that pretended she's never been kissed before. Meanwhile, she's servicing men all up and down her job, and every man that she knows could get some. Some of those guys she's getting money from. Some of those guys she's getting drugs from. So the backstory behind that, which I didn't have time to tell you the backstory, and this is going to be a lesson for people. And, you know, either you take it or leave it. It's totally up to you. You're an adult. You do what you want to do. But she was raped by her, sexually assaulted, by her stepfather growing up. And I don't think her mother did anything about it, or she acted like she didn't know. There was some kind of dysfunction there in addition to that. And she had no support through it. And so it is not untypical. It is very typical for women to either go on one side of the spectrum or the other. They'll either be repulsed by any type of, you know, intimacy, physical intimacy, or they will be, and some of them will allow themselves to become obese because they're trying to, not all of them, but some will allow themselves to become obese so that they feel that men won't be attracted to me now. So maybe I can eliminate that happening in the future. And then some are going to be extremely promiscuous, and she is on the extremely promiscuous side of things. Her daughter, who's more honest than she is, so that's the person you want to listen to, not Mother Teresa, which is what she's pretending to be. You don't want to listen to her because she's always lying. So you listen to her mom, you listen to her daughter, because she's telling the truth. And the daughter said that, you know, she's always manipulated men. She has always taken advantage of people, and she's always tricking people. And, you know, she also said that her mother went to therapy for a short while and then didn't go anymore because it was painful. She's got 5 children. They all hurt coming out. The contractions hurt real bad. It hurts coming out, but she kept doing it. So what's the difference? I mean, I know the pain eventually goes away, but that's extremely intense pain, having a child. And you didn't mind doing that. This is just a psychological type of pain but you can work through it. So she only went to therapy for a short while, and then she decided, I'm not dealing with that. That's too painful. She also has a drinking issue, and she also does drugs and anything else that she can to escape her nightmares from the past. So she's a runner. She's like a lot of people who are runners. I'm not going to face it head on. I'm not going to get therapy. I'm going to choose my own therapy, which usually involves drugs and or alcohol. And it's really sad because what happens is this, and we're going to go there. Okay. You know what? I don't know how. Let me see something because I forgot to put my lighting on because I'm goofy. Hey, I can't do it like that because what's wrong? That's better. Now you can see me. Oh, yay. I forgot to put my light on. Oops. I'm blonde. What can I say? Blonde under the purple. What can I tell you? She's a runner, and it's sad because a lot of people decide that's how they're going to handle their problems. They're just going to run. Well, when you get drunk and you get under the influence of whatever, your problem still exists. So you're not really resolving anything. It's kind of like, and you guys know this, you have a wound, it has to be cleaned out. You have to take an antibiotic in addition to that. You have to have needles inside the wound so that they can stitch it up. And as horrible as that sounds, that's the way it works. They have to numb inside the wound and outside the wound in order, depending on the depending on the type of wound it is, they have to numb it and they have to stitch it. So it's going to hurt worse before it gets better. That's how therapy is. It hurts worse before it gets better. There's no shortcut through that pain, but it's temporary. If you get to the bottom of it, it's temporary. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and they probably should put it on my tombstone. She always thought, this is what they'll put on my tombstone, or need to, she always thought that stress management should be taught in high school. Because otherwise people want to run, and run, and run. And then the means in which they are mismanaging their pain through, illicit medications and, alcohol. You're mismanaging your pain, your emotional pain. And so you end up with other problems. So basically, here it is. And I want you to think of it this way. If this is the reason you're a runner is because of emotional pain or trauma. So you've been traumatized. And then you continue to traumatize yourself. And you make sure, I want you to listen to how crazy this sounds. You continue to traumatize yourself until you die. So you're making sure that the trauma never stops. Why is that a better alternative to therapy? Why is that better than therapy? It's not. You are making sure that that trauma or those traumas are continuing, but in a different way. With substance abuse, with promiscuity, with refusing to get help, with refusing to even confide in someone who you trust. So you're traumatizing yourself because you were traumatized. Does that make any sense to anybody out there? It don't make no sense. So you're your own worst enemy. You've heard that before, right? You're your own worst enemy because you're continuing the pain. And as cliche as this may sound, That's why self-love has to take effect. Because when you love yourself, you take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, you do little things like, it's cold out. Maybe I should wear layers. Maybe I should wear a hat, gloves, a coat, a scarf, my boots, a scarf. Did I say scarf? Whatever. I'm going to do what I can to not expose my body to the elements because it's cold out. Or, I don't know, I'm going to get a multivitamin because I might not be getting the nutrients in my regular diet, so it won't hurt me to have some extra nutrients or whatever. I'll take a multivitamin, or make sure I have a salad or a couple of salads per week, or whatever it is that you do. These are little tiny ways that you show self-love to yourself. Emotional self-love is just as important. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to protect your heart. There's a little child inside of you, a vulnerable little child inside of you, especially for those who didn't have a good childhood. There's a little wounded child inside of you. And with that wounded child, it's your responsibility to protect him or her. And when you protect him or her, if you were to imagine, and some therapists do this, they will take a teddy bear, for example. Let's see. Milo's got a stuffed dog over there somewhere. I would use it. But anyway, he won't get it because he'll tear it to shreds. So he's not going to get it. Anyway, he'll destroy it. So he's not getting it. But anyway, you have to, when you decide that you're going to love yourself, then you decide, I want to recover from these pains. I want to get better. I want to face them head on. I don't want them burdening me anymore. I don't want them heavy on me anymore. I want to get better. So if I have to hurt worse to get better, that's what I'm willing to do. So I'll do therapy. I'll stay, take as many sessions as I need. And you can do it in baby steps. Because when there's trauma involved, there's shame involved. There's no shame with the person who traumatized you. Somehow, they reverse things mentally to where you feel the shame, even though they did it to you. So let's eliminate the shame by talking about it. So you confide in a best friend. Even if your throat is choked and your throat is tight and it's hard to get the words out and it's just super painful, you could start off on that level. And you could tell your friends, I need to talk to you. Someone you trust, obviously, right? I need to talk to you about something that is extremely emotionally painful for me. And I've never talked about it before. So if I have an intense reaction, just bear with me. And once you talk about it and you release the weight of it by getting it out, and then that person's not shocked, they don't go, oh, how horrible, and they run out of the room screaming. If a person cares about you, they're going to be loving and kind and tender, hopefully. And if they're not, then it's time to confide in someone else who is. But once you start to release the shame by talking about it, because you shouldn't be embarrassed. The person who did it should be embarrassed. Okay. Once you start to release the pressure, and you start to talk about the things that make you feel so embarrassed and so self-conscious, it starts to release its power and its hold on you. So, and when that person gives you a loving response, then you're like, oh, they didn't pass out when I told them. They didn't scream and yell and run out of the room like, oh my God, they didn't freak out. So, wow, okay, that's a start, and you start to feel good about yourself because you're getting the pressure off of you. It's kind of like when you put a teapot on the stove and it builds and builds and builds, the pressure builds, and then it steams, right? And then it whistles to let you know it's ready. It's the same kind of concept. God must be working with me today through me, because I wasn't planning to say none of that. He must be working through me today. I'm just telling you, because that wasn't even part of my plan to say all that. So, but I feel like somebody needs to hear it. And the upcoming holidays are not good for everybody. It's not exciting for everybody. It can be hard and depressing for some people. So, you know, when you start to take care of you and you actually love on that inner child, and you're like, even if you have to do it with a pillow, like I said, I've known of a therapist who does this. You can either have someone hold the teddy bear and you tell that person, be it your mom or your dad or whoever you're mad at or whoever, I hate what you did to me. You're a horrible person. I'm not going to be embarrassed. You need to be embarrassed for what you've done to me. And you just let it go. Or you can also take that teddy bear and hug it to your body and close your eyes and tell that teddy bear, which represents the child inside of you, I love you so much. I love you so much. And I'm going to protect you. Oh God, why am I getting emotional? Why am I getting emotional? I'm going to protect you with everything I've got. And that involves self-love. So from here on out, I'm going to love you and take good care of you. I'm not going to do escapism because that hurts you. I'm going to look out for you. You mean the world to me. And I love you, and I'm going to take care of you. And this represents the inner child inside of you. Holy crap, where'd all that emotion come from? Y'all want to come to my house and do a little support group? I live in Columbia, Missouri. We can have a little women's group, a little women's retreat thing. Anyway, woo, where'd that come from? Wow. Wow, that's deep. Where the hell did that come from? Whew. Anyway, so these are effective ways to tap into those inner wounds, because escapism isn't the answer. You know that logically. You know that's not going to work. That's destructive. So you had a trauma, right? And so then you re-traumatize yourself by becoming an alcoholic, and then you die from cirrhosis of the liver. That's what you want your legend to be? I don't think that's what you want. Or you lose everything behind the alcoholism. You can't hold a job. You can't function. You don't have a place to live. I mean, you know what I mean? Don't traumatize yourself. That's not the way you want to go. It's just not. Okay? So anyway, you guys take care. Much love. I don't know where all that came from. I don't know, honey. But maybe someone needs to hear it. So much love to all of you. And y'all take care. Be good. See you next time. Bye-bye.